Mike Sit It First is a sports podcast hosted by the ever energetic Michael Carvelis. Mike always has an opinion you won't hear anywhere else on the biggest topics in the world of athletics. Prepare for a wild ride of predictions and analysis only Mike can provide. This is Mike Sit It First on a Friday night, live on 12 Ounce Sports. Welcome in to Mike Said It First. This is Friday, June the 5th, 2020. And if you guys have been wanting sports and you're tired of hearing about the stuff going on in the world, the political side of things, don't worry. I've got you covered on a sports website. So you're at peace here. We're all at peace here. The 7 topics on the show today. A public announcement to sports media members, especially sports podcasters like myself. The NBA has agreed to return. What do I think about it? Is it going to be fun to watch? We'll talk about it, and also who's going to be the champions. Kevin Durant, will he show up? Should he show up? I'll give you the reason why. What could have been in Chicago? Miami's big three could have been the Bulls? Find out how that would have looked. The Portland Trailblazers are the one team that didn't want this thing to be approved. We'll talk about that. XFL 2021. Oh boy, I cannot believe he has risen. And dear Bradley Beal. With that being said, we're going to take a quick commercial break from Drinkade and weight loss. And when I come back, we'll talk about the sports media members. Please stay tuned. This is Mike Said It First. I'm your host, Michael Carvelis.
Drinkade, ready for distribution worldwide.
Okay, welcome again to the show. We're getting started right now. So I want to be very clear before I start what I'm about to say. This is going to be a sports podcast whether people like it or not. I will not be like ESPN and Fox and pretend that I'm some political analyst or that I'm going to just give you my views when I'm supposed to be talking sports. This is a sports-related subject once I get into it. I will not tell you my beliefs. I have stayed off of social media for a reason. I don't want to get involved in it. It's too corrupt. Every argument leads somewhere terrible. I just don't want to be a part of that. With that being said, here's my announcement to sports media members, and here's the backstory of this. I believe his name is Grant Napier, the Kings play-by-play announcer for NBC in Sacramento, California. He has gone back and forth with DeMarcus Cousins before, but this time DeMarcus Cousins asked him, what do you think about Black Lives Matter? And Grant Napier said, all lives matter. Now, I will not get into the gist of all that. I understand that when you say all lives matter, that downgrades the Black Lives Matter. So let's get that out of the way right now. But Grant Napier, at 60 years old, said in a statement afterwards, after he received backlash from it, and now he's resigned. At first he was on leave, but he took the pleasure of resigning for you guys. Grant Napier said, I'm 60 years old and had no idea that that was what that did. So I want to make myself clear here. The fact is, if you're a sports media member, don't be Stephen A. Smith. Don't be Jason Whitlock. Don't be Anderson Cooper. Don't be Laura Ingraham. Don't be these people. You are here for sports. One thing about sports is it's a distraction from the real world. That's what it's always been. If you look up old videos on YouTube, like about documentaries dating back to the ancient Greek times when all these gladiators got together, politics were not involved. So when I'm talking sports, it's not me being silent to anything. It's me keeping my peace of mind by not getting involved with everything that's happening. And I guarantee you, you're going to lose followers and subscribers and listeners if you choose the route of voicing your opinion. Just ask Drew Brees. Colin Kaepernick lost his job. We could go on and on and on. And a personal note for me, a guy named Scout with Brian, who's big in the Twitter community, especially among NBA Twitter. Scout with Brian, I forgot his last name, Orling or something like that. Brian had to issue a 16-tweet apology after about 5 days after he's been ridiculed for his beliefs. Stick to sports, guys. I'm not saying there aren't problems. I'm not saying there are. What I'm saying is people want to hear sports. I cannot tell you how many times I've turned on ESPN and Fox in the last 2 days and have heard them give their political beliefs, and that's not right to me. Sports is a distraction. If you're a sports media member or a podcaster who wants to get out there, if you speak your mind, you're going to infuriate some people one way or the other, left or right. I'm saying this because I'm an opinionated person. And until I got off of Twitter and Facebook recently, for a while, I feel like I've had more peace of mind because I'm not getting involved in stuff. So again, if you're trying to build a brand like myself, be careful. And now let's talk sports officially. July 31st is the date the NBA will return in Orlando, most likely, at the Disney World in Florida. They have some awesome sports complex. 22 NBA teams will be there. I'll get into that later on. But 22 teams will be there. I believe it's like, I want to say 12, what is it, like 14 from the West and like 10 from the East or something. Like, I forgot what the numbers are specifically. Oh, it's 13 from the West and 9 from the East. That's what I remember off the top of my head. I'm good. So this will be a thing. Apparently there's been stuff spitting out there because we're still 2 months away from this, but there's still stuff being talked about, like whether the top seeds will get to choose their hotels, if the top seeds can get the second, third, and fourth quarter possession instead of it switching back and forth after a tip. There's talk about certain teams being able to be at the gym longer because I know that they have to like share some of the gyms there. And it's very complex, but we know that by October 12th is when Game 7, if necessary, the NBA Finals will be there. So I believe it's going to be 8 regular season games will be played. And I know there's a lot of backlash from this because people are saying, well, you know, the world is opening back up. Why can't the NBA? Let me tell you something the NBA has done. The NBA is smart. There's a reason these sports leagues are not opening back up. Like the Brickyard 400 will not have fans, and they were expecting that to be the first event with spectators. Not going to happen. Here's the reason why. Just because the media has switched from coronavirus to politics does not mean there's not been 18 states, and literally everyone surrounding Georgia, which is incredible to me. In 18 states plus Puerto Rico, the virus saw a spike. What was it, this week or yesterday or something like that? The virus saw a spike. 1,500 people in Brazil died in one day. 1,473 to be exact. In one day. It's not over. And I was watching Doug Gottlieb this morning taking place of Colin Cowherd, and boy, does he do a bad job at that. Doug Gottlieb this afternoon said that's a terrible idea that after 2 weeks in a hotel, you get bored. Listen, guys. Players want sports. This wasn't the NBA and some random owners. This was the NBA and the NBAPA, the National Basketball Association Players Association. The players wanted this to happen minus Damian Lillard. Again, I'll get to that later on. But the fact is, we want sports. Now, I will be very clear with this. I said this, I believe, last week on my show, I believe it was last week on my show. I said NASCAR and baseball can get away with no fans. Now, baseball refuses to come back, but Korean baseball, I didn't really notice there were fans there. NASCAR, you mostly hear the cars anyways, although at Bristol, it would have been nice to see the fans' reaction to Joey Logano and Chase Elliott. Or when Chase Elliott, the week before, gives his favorite finger to another driver. Like, fans being there, that would have been interesting. But mainly, we see NASCAR. It's just you hear a lot of cars. Here's where the NBA gets tricky with this. Having no fans at a basketball game, especially in a playoff atmosphere, you're going to hear every shoe squeak, every Draymond Green curse word, everything, except for fans. I feel like even football, like minus Penn State or Michigan, like some big-time schools, I feel like those teams can get away with it. But college football and NFL really doesn't suffer from the lack of, we can hear fans, but they're not, it's just such a huge stadium. In the NBA, it's an aluminum building closed in. That's what we're going to hear. Everything. It might be more emotional too, honestly, when LeBron James roar, when he screams out and cries when he won the championship. Hey, that might be cool to see. But it's definitely going to take probably till the end of those 8 regular season games to think about how this is going to go down. But don't criticize this, guys. The virus is not over. I believe 4 Alabama football players tested positive for coronavirus. Are you kidding me? What? And I'm not saying that they're going to die, but it's like, why risk their families? Why was these NBA players' families getting sick? It's just, people are like, oh, they should have fans. Listen, stop that. I don't care what your views are on this whole thing. We want basketball. It's going to happen. This is the best way it can happen. The NBA is always ahead of the curve on certain stuff, and this is one of them. I'm excited for this. As for my prediction, you guys know I've been a Lakers guy all year. Although I'm still a big Miami Heat fan, we're not going to do anything. We still have rookies on our team, and they're great rookies, but they're come on. Jalen Rose thought he was going to gain viewers by saying the Boston Celtics will make it out the East because there's no fans. As if Milwaukee has some gigantic fan base. Come on now, guys. I believe the Bucks. Now the Raptors could give them problems. Obviously, the Celtics, we'll see. They're small. They're nasty, but they're small. I don't know if they can really guard Giannis. So I believe Bucks make it out the East in a competitive 5 or 6 game series in the East Finals, whoever they play. As for the West, it gets tricky. I believe the Rockets may have been one of the teams that benefited the least from this virus because the Rockets were finally starting to win games when they had their small lineup. I'm not sure how much this is going to affect them. I will still stand by my Lakers over the Bucks pick, but I wouldn't be surprised if a Clippers came in there. I wouldn't be surprised if a Rockets team went in there. And now Jamal Murray's trying to toot the horn of Nikola Jokic. If Nikola Jokic does what we think he can, we can be the finals champions. Listen, come on now. What? Yeah, that's an interesting story. But no, I believe the Lakers are going to win. I'm going to stand by that. But, I mean, I feel like this will be the time when we're going to see actual talent win. Like sometimes, like when the Warriors were playing games, like you would feel like there was a fan factor. I'm not saying the Warriors wouldn't have won with that roster anyways, but I'm saying I feel like this will be the first time we're ever going to see this flat out basketball. I mean, it's going to be raw. It's going to be rough. Like I said, it might take till 8 games or maybe in the first round to get used to it. But when it comes back, it'll be so sweet. But you will hear every sweat drop, okay? Like, it's going to be fun. But I just can't wait. July 31st and October 12th is when Game 7 of the NBA Finals would commence. I believe it's October the 15th would be the NBA Draft. Ooh. Okay, speaking of players coming back, Kevin Durant, no, your screen did not just dim. I put a kind of a grayish logo, a grayish font here because I felt like Kevin Durant needed to be talked about because he's on the Brooklyn Nets. I mean, like, and I didn't want to do like another white logo, so I just did gray. So your screen is not dimming on you. It's okay. Kevin Durant, there's been speculation whether or not he's going to be back. Then there's reports coming out today that he won't be back. Remember, this man not only had an Achilles injury, but he also had the coronavirus. Like, he was one of the few stars that actually had it. So, I'm going to give a perspective I don't think people are thinking about on this Achilles injury. Not saying Kevin Durant isn't fully healed. But do you remember the last time Kevin Durant tried to come back, although he was technically healed? Yeah, he tore his Achilles. So, he tried to come back for a competitive game, even if the Nets were to magically make it to the finals without him. Why would Kevin Durant just pop up into the NBA Finals? Like, and I know he would probably love to, but last time we saw him want to play when he thought he was healthy, he ruptured his Achilles. So I believe now, like I said, in a Cinderella scenario where the Nets somehow make it to the NBA Finals, would Kevin Durant seriously consider coming back? That would be a huge thing. He might actually come back, but for his own health, I wouldn't. And I don't even like Kevin Durant. I really don't. Like, he's overrated. I really do. But to me, last time we saw him try this stunt, it didn't work out. So why try it now? I'll tell you what we will try now because I talk a lot and I'm thirsty. When I come back, Chicago Bulls could have been the destination for LeBron and D-Wade per Chicago boy Dwayne Wade. Interesting. Plus, XFL will return. And don't forget, my message to Bradley Beal is coming up soon. It may or may not have to do with the Brooklyn Nets. But yeah, we'll be right back after a word from Lexington Law. This is Mike Said It First.
Nothing makes us happier at Lexington Law than when our clients cancel our services. Listen to this client call and see what we mean.
Lexington Law Firm, this is Erin.
I would like to cancel my account.
I'm sorry to hear that.
No, don't be. Actually, you guys have done tremendous work for me, and I was working with you for several years now. And my goal was to get a mortgage written by the end of this year, and I just got that mortgage commitment.
That is wonderful.
My credit went from like 440 working with you guys to 700.
Nice.
And I got a very good 4.25% 30-year fixed rate mortgage. I have nothing at all bad to say. If you ever want me to write a testimonial, well, I will. As a matter of fact, I've recommended you to a lot of friends.
Lexington Law has served over 500,000 clients, taking expert action on their credit that has led to the removal of millions of questionable negative items from their credit reports. Call now and learn more about how Lexington Law may be able to help you in the removal of negative items from your credit report, such as collections, late payments, charge-offs, and many others. Call Lexington Law today.
Welcome back to Mike Said It First, live on 12 Ounce Sports, wherever you may be watching, whether it be YouTube, whether it be Zingo TV for the replay. It could be Twitter, Facebook, you name it, I'm here. So with that being said, I kind of teased you guys about the Chicago Bulls. So since 1998, if you've lived under a rock, I was 2 years old in 1998 for what it's worth. Since 1998, when the Bulls last championship, they have appeared in one Eastern Conference Finals and no NBA Finals. So we know that that's when Michael Jordan left and blah 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 blah. So Dwayne Wade was born in Chicago. The backstory of this is actually pretty cool. I just want to throw this out there. I've said it before. I'm gonna say it again. Dwayne Wade was apparently brought up in a very bad household, but his sister dropped him off at a family member's house, and he thought like he was going somewhere cool, like this, like the candy store or something like that. But his sister dropped him off to be adopted by somebody else, and Dwayne Wade said he took up playing basketball, and if it wasn't for that, his sister doing that, he would have been like a druggie or whatever, or he would have been dead. So that's an interesting story. This guy knows Chicago. Like, he played for the Bulls in 2016. I'm not even going to go to that point. But the point is of this. In 2010, do you guys remember the decision when LeBron James says, I'm taking my talents to South Beach, and we're going to win not one, not two, not three, you get it. I'm a Heat fan. I was loving it. But at the same time, there was a rookie of the year named Derrick Rose, and then the next year, that year in 2010, he became MVP. So Dwayne Wade, I wish I knew the website again. I'll probably find it later on, but the website I was reading had an interview with Dwayne Wade that popped up, and Dwayne Wade goes in detail about what went down and the other teams that could have been the big three. Dwayne Wade says, quotes, the Bulls were definitely an option. Interesting. But here's what the big three would have looked like. Per Dwayne Wade, he said, we knew about Derrick Rose. We knew about the nice roster that they had. Their big three, they wanted a guy like Chris Bosh, but they said it was enticing to see Derrick Rose, LeBron James, and Dwayne Wade. That would have been the big three. And I was like, man, I might have been a Bulls fan. Like, I'm a huge Dwayne Wade fan. I'm a huge Miami Heat fan. And I don't really run with players. I just kind of support players where they go. But I'm still a Heat fan. But, man, Derrick Rose, LeBron James, and Dwayne Wade would have been interesting, in my opinion. According to Dwayne Wade, his words, not mine, the big three wouldn't have been as successful. He used the term three-ball dominant players. I completely disagree with that statement. I believe if Derrick Rose might not have gotten injured because he would not have had that big of a load, so his knees would have had a lot less load on them. Derrick Rose would have been awesome with that team, but that's okay. Now, Dwayne Wade says what changed it was when they figured that out, and then Miami suddenly opens up a spot to sign a third guy like a Chris Bosh. And the rest is history. This blew my mind. I was thinking to myself the what ifs of this. It was just absolutely insane. Like, can you guys imagine Derrick Rose in his prime? In his second year, I mean, I guess this is his prime. Derrick Rose, who to this day still can shoot a basketball. And can still drive past a lot of guys in the league. Dwayne Wade without bad knees. Well, you get it. And LeBron James and his dunking prime. Oh my goodness. This would be so amazing. The comparisons to Michael Jordan would be even worse than they are now. Man, the what ifs of this thing, the hypotheticals are incredible to me. But hey, shout out to Dwayne Wade for saying that again. Dwayne Wade went to 2016 basically with rotten kneecaps, and he just, I can hardly remember Dwayne Wade in Chicago. Maybe Chicago Bulls fans can. I don't even know if they cared about that. Like, the man was way past retirement, and he finally retired the next year with the Heat. So, again, would it have worked with Derrick Rose? I mean, it might very well have. I'm not going to lie. I would have liked to see that. And it might have maybe convinced me to be a Bulls fan, but I'm glad they turned out the way they did. Maybe Dwayne Wade and Derrick Rose's knees wouldn't have gone bad that fast. I don't know. You never know with these things. But hypotheticals of this was incredible. It was absolutely insane. Again, your screen did not go dark. I just chose a different shade of red for the Portland Trailblazers. So I apologize if you're like, what in the world is happening to my screen? The Portland Trailblazers are the only team out of 30 teams that voted for the NBA to come back. Portland was the only team that said no. This is actually insane to me. So we all know that Damian Lillard said that, you know, if we ain't got nothing to play for, I ain't playing. You can put that bleep in writing. So we all know his stance. Portland agrees with it. Now, I don't know who on earth. Maybe Portland came out and said they were the ones that was said no, but apparently this got out pretty quickly that they were the ones who said no. Again, Damian Lillard, I love you, man, but you get paid to play basketball, bro. Like, I know it's hard. You know, we don't have nothing to play for, but you guys weren't going to make the playoffs. I mean, you might have been getting hot at the right time, but you had to start over. You probably weren't going to make the playoffs. Maybe if you did, you bounced in the first round by the Lakers. But it's like, come on, dude. As for the Trailblazers as an organization, I mean, I guess they had the right to vote no, but it's kind of weird. Like, you guys don't want basketball. My biggest pet peeve with these teams is basically what the Cleveland Cavaliers said. I read this quote on, like, the Cleveland fan page. I forgot what website it's called, but Cleveland Cavaliers had a quote saying, we support the NBA's decision to have for the teams that were provided, but then they go on to say that we wanted our young players to thrive in meaningful games. Man, come on now. I cannot tell you how many times I've heard that, oh, well, these teams, you know, they have these young guys and they have to develop. Why? Come on now, why? Every team's dealing with the virus right now. So why do these lower end teams feel like now they want to win? Stop that. These teams have been not caring about winning all season long. There was actually an article where J.R. Smith said that he thought he was going to be the number one option on the team, and the Cavs said, no, we are rebuilding, we're cutting you. These teams know dang well what they're doing, and to say that we want our young guys to develop is just stupid. They're going to trade half the team away anyways. Come on, guys. That makes no sense to me. It absolutely does not. And I don't know why Portland would say no. Again, if you don't want basketball, suit yourself, because I'm watching it. Squeaky and cussing it might be. I'm watching it, okay? So this is great news. He has risen. Not talking about Vince McMahon, because he can suck the back of a turtle, okay? Like, I don't care what Vince McMahon can rot in his own little realm, but all I know is that man completely lied. I talked about this about a month ago or 2 months ago when the XFL finally decided to cut ties with itself, because apparently Vince McMahon had not actually given the money he said he would, although he probably could have kept it alive. But now, in August, the XFL will be auctioned off and bought. Yes! You guys know I interviewed a guy named Jordan Thompson for the Seattle Dragons, and he was awesome. I've only interviewed 2 players in my life. One was for the Cowboys, Lance Lenoir. No offense to Lance Lenoir. He was kind of, maybe because he was on the Cowboys, and maybe because like he couldn't really expand on certain stuff. But I feel like I didn't really ask him any hard questions. Like, it was like simple stuff. I asked him what he thought about the Dez Bryant situation, and like that was, but he was just boring. Okay, I'm sorry, Lance. But Jordan Thompson to this day follows me on Twitter, which is awesome. And the XFL was so promising, and the fact that McMahon screwed us over really made me mad to this day. Like, I was really talking with my buddies. I was like, yes, like it was a talking point, man. That the XFL, and then somehow the owner didn't want to fund it. That was just dumb to me. Same thing, like, people don't realize the Alliance of American Football was actually a pretty good product until some crappy people at the top just didn't want to do anything with it. Oh, but it was failing. No, actually it wasn't. It was actually doing pretty well. And the XFL had gotten great. Of course, now we've lost P.J. Walker. He was the most exciting thing in the league. But whatever. But no, the XFL has a chance to return in 2021 after it's potentially going to be bought in August. I cannot wait. And I know I told you guys that it was gone, but man, I did say it first. I thought that it was going to come back. Okay, so Mark did say it first, if we're being completely honest with ourselves. When I come back, we're going to do a show recap, and you're going to like this. Dear Bradley Beal. The free agent has some nice words to say about the Miami Heat. But what is my warning to a potential landing spot for the young man? Be right back, but first, a commercial.
That's what's needed to get to that next level. I'm Rob Pennell, and I'm going to teach you how to be an offensive machine.
That's right, Rob Pennell's got you covered. Just beyond the X's and O's. Listen, I'm not going to lie. I like lacrosse. I wish it was aired more in the U.S., but it's not. Like they're trying to push Major League Soccer down our throats, and that's just never going to be a thing unless they do something like more American with it, meaning like they do something like that's more fast-paced. Because even baseball suffers from a slow-paced game nowadays. Forget the fact that their commissioners and idiots. And you guys heard about the 50-game season? That was incredible to me. Not only do these idiot players don't want to get paid, but now the baseball, Major League Baseball said, well, we'll do a 50-game season. Really? Really? Come on, guys. Well, I'm not saying 50 games isn't a lot, but it's a lot less than 162. That's why I don't talk baseball anymore. That's just the dumbest thing in the world. Okay, Friday, June 5th, let me backtrack. Baseball's not dumb. Major League Baseball's dumb. I can watch Korean baseball all day long. That is fast-paced. It is fun. It is awesome to watch. This Major League Baseball stuff can cry to the wolves, man. It is not entertaining unless the Cubs are winning the World Series and almost blow it. But hey, it was fun. That was the last time I actually watched it. Okay, so it's not entertaining. Anyways, baseball's fun, but you get it. Okay. I'm sorry. So before our final topic, here is our show recap. Remember my public service announcement to sports media members. Do not get involved with all this stuff, guys. I know you're going to be told where silence is to racism is racism. I get it. But it'll give you peace of mind. You won't lose a bunch of listeners and subscribers. Because everyone has personal beliefs, but in today's age, it's all about if your opinion differs from somebody else or from the popular opinion, you're wrong and you're an idiot and you're this and that. Okay, so be careful. Stick to sports, my guys. I know that's what I'm doing. Stick to sports. NBA agreed to return July 31st to October 12th at the latest. I'm completely for it. I cannot wait. It will be a little bit interesting listening to squeaking shoes and cursing players. They can bleep those out, though. But I cannot wait for this. I'm excited to see how it goes down. I think Lakers over the Bucks, but I would not be surprised if a third team came in there and won the title. But hey, I cannot wait. Kevin Durantula, the snake himself, should not come back even if the Nets go on a magical run. Why? Because last time he tried to come back when it counted, he tore his Achilles. And that's me speaking from a guy who cannot who cannot respect the man. But I'm telling him, like, hey, don't do it, okay? So you're welcome. Chicago Big Three could have been a thing with Derrick Rose, Dwayne Wade, and LeBron James. But three ball-dominant players, plus Miami opening up Chris Bosh, worked. However, that would have been interesting. Portland Trail Blazers were the only team to vote no. And I'm sorry. But come on, guys. And this whole letting our young players develop is just full of baloney. And I don't want to hear about the TV deals either. They make enough money as it is, okay? They'll be fine. They're not going to lose their TV contracts, okay? XFL 2021 is a thing. Again, Vince McMahon can rot. But XFL will return most likely after it's bought in August. I cannot wait. but I'm going to have to wait anyways. Okay. Dear Bradley Beal. This is my final topic for the day. Night. Good Lord, it's 10:35. Dear Bradley Beal, I heard what you said. Technically I read it. Bradley Beal was quoted as saying, yeah, Miami Heat are a great option for free agency. Beal actually strongly considered them before signing his recent deal. But there's still speculation he could go to the Brooklyn Nets. Bradley Beal, I'm not saying this as a sour Miami Heat fan that's hearing that. I'm saying this as a person who recognizes the flat earthers that resided for the Brooklyn Nets. Let me remind you of the backstory of these Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant characters, okay? So Kevin Durant, right? This guy, man. Oh, this is great. Kevin Durant was up 3-1 on the Golden State Warriors. Ended up losing the series to the Golden State Warriors 3-4. Betrayed his friend Russell Westbrook. I don't care what you want to say. That's not professional. That's not friendly. That's not anything. If you guys were that close, no. So I don't care what pitch Bradley Beal gets sold. They don't like you. Kevin Durant goes to the Warriors. Still doesn't get along with them, and he wins 2 championships. Come on, guys. Or 3. I can't remember if it was 2 or 3. He won championships, guys. And he still could not stand the team. Now he's with the Brooklyn Nets with his buddy Kyrie Irving. Oh, boy. As for Kyrie Irving, this guy could not win without LeBron James. When he goes with LeBron James and wins, hits a big-time shot, all of a sudden, it's LeBron's team and I want more to myself. So he goes to the Celtics. The Celtics had just been in the East Finals, and the next year, get bounced to the second round. Really? Now, I mean, again, I'm not going to... Okay, the earth is not flat, but Kyrie Irving thinks so. Like, that's actually a thing. But let's be real here. Bradley Beal, do you want money or do you want to win? I promise you, Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving are not going to win anything in Brooklyn. I don't care even if he joins them. These two vultures got their coach, Kenny Atkinson, fired. Kenny Atkinson, last season, had his team in the playoffs. Very competitive playoffs, too. Kenny Atkinson had the Brooklyn Nets without Kyrie or KD in the playoffs this year. But because KD and Kyrie didn't like Kenny Atkinson, he's gone. Let that sink in, Bradley Beal. What are your priorities? Do not listen to their sales pitches. They are weirdos. They are outcasts. They are all for themselves. The moment you want more attention, the moment you're getting attention for outperforming them, if it's possible, you will be ridiculed by them, sometimes behind your back. Please, Bradley Beal, I don't care if you sign with the Heat, the Wizards, I don't care where you go next. Do not be convinced by the Brooklyn Nets. Until those two guys, those squids leave, don't come back. Don't go there. And thank you for the praise for the Miami Heat. Sincerely, your boy Mike. I mean, I had to get that off my chest. Because when I read that, I was like, okay, cool, he likes the Miami Heat. But when it was just weird because it's in his division, right? But it's weird because I'm like, what? Why am I seeing Brooklyn Nets rumors? Like, if he's actually considering Kyrie and KD, I'm like, dude, don't do this, man. Come on. Don't forget to follow the show on Twitter at Podcast Carvelis. And I apologize. I've lost so many passwords. But this time, I'm legitimate, okay? I've got my password intact. Podcast, Karvelis, on Twitter to engage with the show, follow the show. You know all that good stuff. All that sweet-smelling cologne. Okay. By the way, Zingo TV is awesome. I actually was watching some stuff on there earlier today. That's not a lie. 12 on Sports Zone channel 761. I'm into that promo code 12, capital O, capital Z, and you will get signed in for free. Zingo TV is awesome, guys. I'm telling you, it's got a lot of good ABA stuff on there. It's not a lot of channels, man. It is growing every day. Go ahead and subscribe on Zingo TV and favorite the 12 Ounce Sports channel, but make sure you go to 12OZ while doing so. Thanks so much for our sponsors, Drinkade. Listen, guys, I'll be honest with you, Drinkade. If I was listening to Friday Night Mike, and then, had a little bit too much, I would take Drinkade. I mean, I don't drink, but I'm just saying. Weight loss, I need, and that Asian guy looks pretty convincing. I don't know if I got the Lexington Law commercial in, so I'll get. No, actually, I did. Lexington Law. Over 50,000 people are satisfied with them. Lacrosse with Rob Pennell. I mean, come on, are you kidding me? I love lacrosse. I never played it, hardly ever watched it, but it's an awesome sport. And also, yeah. So Zingo TV, that's my buddies. Interesting story about MyBookie, one of our sponsors. So whatever up $500 means, I'm sorry if I don't know that. My buddy Jimmy at work was saying, "Hey man, I'm up $500 on this app called MyBookie." And I was like, "Wow, you should have used our promo code." He's like, "What do you mean?" Promo code 12OZ Sports. They match your first deposit up to $1,000. I don't have $1,000, but hey, if you do, go ahead. Honestly, they help you with all your stuff. Also, e-racing is a thing. I know you're thinking of iRacing. No, e-racing is a thing too. I watched, what is his name? Jerem50 just win. Okay, let me not say. He didn't win. He dominated the first ever 12 Ounce Sports e-racing league. That was pretty fun to watch. Station owner Jeff Beck's nephew was trash. He could not drive. It's based on Gran Turismo. Really fun thing to see. Sunday, 1 o'clock Eastern, we got live baseball. I cannot wait for that, honestly. But yeah, that's about it for me. You guys have a great night. Have a great weekend. Because Monday, we got to start it back over again. I know there's some bad weather moving through the southeast. And on top of the political stuff and the virus, we also have a tropical storm moving towards the coast. You know what? The world's going down. It's okay. It's okay. I got you guys back. We're talking sports. But thanks so much. I'm going to start rambling on. You guys have a good one. And thanks for watching the replay if you clicked on it as well. Peace!